What's up, everyone? It's Kamari Odom here. I'm at Road Atlanta. Let me show you a fast lap in the Lamborghini Super Trofeo EVO 2. Let's go. So going straight to start finish here, right past the Michelin Bridge, you want to be using as much curbing on the left as you can and going straight down to turn 1. So before you even get to turn 1, you want to be using that patch of grass on the left as a reference point. You want to use as much as you can. You don't even want to be looking at that part of the track anymore, and you want to be braking a little after that or even before that. You want to be trail braking here. You do not want to threshold brake. So as you're turning in, you want to be looking directly up and to the right. You really want the car to be going toward this apex, so you can hit this apex or get close to the apex depending on how fast you're going. But try not to touch it too much in the Lamborghini because it upsets the car a lot. Now as you go closer to the left where the curbing is, that's okay, but you want to come sort of in the middle of the track like I was, or you want to go a little further to the right and really swoop into the left to set up for turn 3. Now you have to be careful swooping in from the right though, because there could be another car coming out where the pit lane is, so just be careful doing that. Now as soon as you get to turn 3, you're going to be looking at the top of the hill. And this lap, I actually touched the grass. You really don't want to touch the grass too much over there, that patch of grass, because it'll mess you up really bad in turn 3 if you're not careful or if you're going too fast in it. So right at turn 3, you want to use as much track, stay to the left, and try to use this curbing as much as you possibly can. Now, on the curbing, you want to brake to 20 to 30%, and then as soon as you get off the curbing, you may do a slight turn in or keep the car straight so it's diagonal, because as you're braking, you're putting the weight back to the front of the car. And so when you shift the weight a little bit as you're turning, you don't want to use too much curb. But in the Lamborghini, because it doesn't have as much downforce, it'll either push you wide, going closer to where the grass is, or it'll push you closer to where the barrier is. So you have to be careful on where and how much curbing you're using, because it'll upset the car too much. So brake to about 70, 80 or even 90%, and as soon as you do that, use the curbing. So if you get it right, it'll set you up perfectly for turn 4. Just before we get to turn 4, as you're getting away from turn 3, I like to be closer to this curbing on the left or a little bit further so I can set up for turn 4. And just before you go down the hill, you want to get in the middle. Now in a GT3 car, you want to be closer to the left or in the middle, but in a Super Trofeo, you have less downforce. It's the biggest reason why I'm telling you to stay away from certain apexes. As you enter into turn 4, you should be looking at the top of the hill. You don't want to touch too much of this curbing because you'll end up really upsetting the car. It'll either throw you to the left over here, your whole lap's gone, or you have to overcorrect so much that you're losing so much time. So in this section, really keep it in the middle, sort of a diagonal. So you can use all that curbing in the middle as you're going down. And then right before you're getting to turn 5, you need to be looking up. So look straight up to the left, almost looking at the curbing on the right side. Immediately you want to start looking all the way to the left up the hill, because you want to apex early in this corner. So braking just before the curbing starts on the right or a little bit after that. And when you're braking to 40 or 50%. And then you're immediately shifting the weight back to the left. If you don't do this right, you end up hitting that curbing and your car is going to be in the gravel. You're going to be using too much of the curb. And if the car is really upset, it'll end up on the left side of the track and you'll smash into the barrier, or you'll smash into the barrier of the right if you're understeering really bad, or you'll end up in the grass right after turn 5, which makes you lose a little bit of time. So now we're braking into turn 6 at around a 300 board from about 80 or 90%. And as you're trail braking into 6, you really want to not touch this inside curbing too much, or don't touch it at all. Get very close to it, come to the left. You can ride the curbing on the left just a little bit, let the car kind of settle and keep the car straight. Don't be overzealous in 6 and brake super late and then understeer really bad into 7, or you're overslowing for 7. Locking up in turn 7, or you just flew right into the grass because you were going too fast into 7. And as soon as you get to the top of 6, you're going to be starting to go in the entry of 7. Start braking at about 80 to 90%. Usually you want to apex pretty early into turn 7, so as you're turning in, you're really hitting the inside curbing. Just be patient in turn 7. Turn 7 is not tricky. It is the slowest part of the track. It's all about patience. Now, after you apex into turn 7, however, you definitely want to be easy on the throttle. Try to go to about 40 or 50% throttle and then build as the car starts getting straighter. Because if you go too much and use too much of this curbing, you're going to either drop 2 tires or just end up in the grass, or you're going to go too much on the curb, upset the car, spin, and then end up on the right side. So really want to be careful in 7. And that's all I'm going to say about turn 7. Just patience. Turn 8 is literally just the back straight. So we're coming in the entry of turn 9, which is this nice little turn right here. This is turn 9 technically, in this downhill. So for a rule of thumb, really just stay on the right side. You also want to be braking to 80 or 90% in this corner. So as we come into turn 10, you want to be turning, and you want to be very careful using too much of this curbing. You want to stay more towards the middle of the yellow, not really on the left side of that yellow where the small dip is, because it'll give you a track limits. But not only that, it'll really screw you up, and it's just gonna throw your whole exit into 10A and your whole entry into 10B. So turn early, and as soon as you're going to 10B, 10A sets up 10B. So if you take it as a diagonal, it'll really be perfect right there, and use all the curbing on the right in 10B. Now in AMS2, it doesn't always like you using the curbing, but you can use as much curbing as you need to. It will give you track limits if you do too much, so just keep that in mind. Now on the exit of 10B, you definitely want to keep the car as straight as possible. So loosen the steering as you start accelerating more, so you can use as much curbing as you possibly need, okay? You don't always need to ride all of the curbing on this left side. You could just use as much as you need and start darting all the way up to 11. 11 is literally this bridge. So the Fox Factory Bridge, that's 11. Turn 12 is the downhill. Okay, so keep it straight as possible. And turn 12, you want to stay on the left and use the curbing as much as you can. Keep it flat all the way throughout and go back through, start finish. And that is a lap at Road Atlanta. This is a lap in Automobilista 2, aka AMS2. If you like videos like this and got value out of this video, make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm Kamari Odom. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.